Hello, Grandpa Jim here. How are you? Happy Parshat Shmini. In this Parsha, the Mishkan, the tent that held everything that would someday go into the Beit HaMikdash, the Holy Temple, the tent was erected for the final time in what's called the inauguration ceremony for Aaron and his sons. Moshe was showing them, day after day, for 7 days, how to go about putting everything together. And now it's the 8th day, it's the final day, it's the first of Nisan in the Midbar, and it's time to put it up and do the service. And from that point on, only Aaron and his sons could officiate at the service. So, it says in Parak 9, chapter 9, Pasuk Sheva, 7th verse, Moshe said to Aaron, "Come near to the Mizbeach and perform the service of your sin offering and your Olah offering and provide atonement for yourself and for the people. Then perform the service of the people's offering and provide atonement for them as Hashem has commanded." So Moshe said to Aaron, "Come, do that which you've been appointed to do." And Rashi points out that Moshe had to say, "Come, bring him forward," because Aaron was embarrassed. He knew this was what he was supposed to do, that Hashem had chosen him to be the Kohen Gadol and to lead the other Kohanim in the work they had to do in the Mishkan. But he says, Moshe has to say to him, "Come." And Aaron hesitated because he was embarrassed. Why would he be embarrassed? Well, Moshe says, "Come. This is what you were created for. This is what you were appointed to. This is your job. This is what Hashem, the creator of the universe, planned for you to do." He was not the kind of person who would just run up and say, "Oh, okay, that's my job. I'll do it. I'm going to play baseball. It's my turn at bat. I can't wait to get up there and knock the ball out of the grandstands." Aaron and Moshe were very humble. Moshe is the most humble man who ever lived. Aaron right after him. Two different kinds of humility. Why was Aaron embarrassed? Because of this. This is the Egel Hazav, the golden calf. When Moshe appeared to be delaying coming down from Har Sinai, the people got rebellious. And they said, "Make for us another God." Now, they didn't mean in place of Hashem. They really meant, Moses is dead. He's gone. Who's going to lead us at Eretz Israel? Go get us somebody who can lead us. And Aaron was stuck. He had a problem. Moshe is the leader who can speak to the people and say, "Go, do this. Stop doing that. Don't do that. Do that again and I'll send you to your room." Or things like that. Aaron is completely different. Aaron makes peace between people. He's not the kind of a leader who could say to a bunch of people, "Rise up and do something." So that's one part of his embarrassment. Now he's got to deal with these people who are calling out him to make a god. This is not what he does. He could stand up and say, "Hey, everybody, stop." But that's not what he does. But he had to put them off somehow. So he said, "Oh, I know what. Everybody take off your earrings and your gold and such. And so he expected the men to go home and say, honey, kids, come here, everybody, give me your gold. Because Aaron knew that when they did that, their wives would say, no way, get my gold. And the children would run and hide behind their mommy. Please, mom, don't let him take my gold. So Aaron figured, I'll stall for time. It's going to take forever for him to get enough gold to do anything. But the men were so bent on doing what they wanted to do that they ripped the rings right out of their ears and threw them in a big pile. And Aaron bound them up, and it went to the fire, and up came this calf. Now, it's not all that simple. There are other people involved. But in trying to stop the people from doing a bad thing, he was somehow involved in it. Now, Hashem had forgiven Aaron completely. Hashem knew that Aaron had no intention to do anything bad, and he was in a situation that was hard to handle, and he did the best he could. And if he needed forgiveness, Hashem gave it to him. Totally forgiven. So when Moshe said, Aaron, come, your turn, do this, do that, here in the Mishkan on the day that we inaugurated, Aaron could have said, oh, okay, fine, I'm forgiven. Why do we have to have a Mishkan and a Beit HaMikdash? Do you know why? It's because of this. If there had been no Chet HaEgel at Har Sinai, we would never have had to put up a Mishkan for the Shekhinah to dwell in, because it would dwell in all of Bnei Israel. Because of the Egel Hazav, there was a distance between Hashem and Bnei Israel, so Bnei Israel had to put up their Mishkan. And so on the one hand, Aaron is called to come in and do what he's supposed to do in the Mishkan. And on the other hand, the fact that he's called to come to the Mishkan is a reminder to him, if there hadn't been that Egel Hazav, there wouldn't be a Mishkan. It would be better than it is. So he was embarrassed. Even though he'd been forgiven, he still felt bad. But he's on a very, very holy level. We sometimes do things to people and get them mad. Or we do an avera, do something that the Torah says don't do. And if you go to the person and say, I did this, it was wrong, I won't do it to you again, forgive me, they'll forgive you. That's it. Or if you did something that you have to apologize to Hashem, you say, yeah, I did this, it was wrong, I'm sorry, I don't ever want to do it again. You're forgiven. That's it. Wiped away like it never happened. So we don't have to worry forever and ever. We always have the opportunity to do tshuva. But Aaron's soul was so sensitive to Hashem that he felt embarrassed, even though it had been forgiven. But then he did come forward and he did do the service. And he did fulfill his role in life that Hashem had appointed for him, and he did a good job. Now, you go out there and do a good job too. Okay? Okay. Shabbat Shalom.